I get my hair done. Doing that. My girl's doing my hair either today or tomorrow, whenever she actually feels like it. We've been in the house, in the bed, for really the last like 10 days, basically. um, but we're back live. The show is back. So welcome. Give a little bit of time for folks to come in. If you're watching the replay and you're here strictly for the segment that we're gonna do with the one progressive versus 20 conservatives, it gets really dark. It gets really dark. I watched a bit of it last night and then I went to bed. I was like, I'm gonna react to this on the show tomorrow. So um, I saw some pieces of it later in the video. um, that's what made me go watch it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop and get like a good take on the channel. But before we get into that, so if you're here for that, go ahead and skip through. But before that, we're gonna just go over some market stuff here and dear. Actually, let me turn that off and go check out our Euro trade. The Euro trade talked about on the show. I guess I can get rid of this here. Don't really need that. If you watch the major market breakdown this week, then I mean this wasn't set up right then and there, but it was put here, and price was down here some, and a little wee bit of profit, not a whole lot. I do want to take a look at DXY real quick. Let me go ahead. Wait, let me put my comments over here so I can actually see the comments. Okay, facts. I had to make sure I could see how I was gonna show up, because you gotta like set it a certain way with how I have this here set up. What I said, DXYZ. Started just tumbleweeding, really. Seems like we're headed more so towards here now, but I mean, price could by all means stop. I still think that that this area is gonna pull price. It just might not pull price first, which we've seen similar play out. Actually, we saw it play out before this whole run up. Actually, let's go on a higher time frame. If you see this gap here, this is what led me to believe price was gonna run up to this point and give some stoppage. Was this gap here? We marked it off. Price ran all the way down, left a whole other gap, and kept running, and then ran up here. So by all means, price can keep dumping towards here, and reasonably so, even lower, without filling in that gap first. It's not impossible. I wanted it to fill in the gap beforehand, but we're already in positions, so it's really a matter of getting a run up back towards this high here, which equals out that low. That midpoint where that first green box is would put us roughly here for TP1. Alright. Now I would then put my stop loss at break even, for the sake of we have that gap there, and if price continues lower, then cool, we get more momentum above here. Price actually closes and breaks above here, getting above this area here, then I'll start trailing stops and so on and so forth, and make that pretty actually I don't even, I have one of the admins do it, send out the links I tell y'all to always put your notifications on so you get notified when we go live. So I don't then have to send out the link every time I go live. Make it a little bit easier all around. Take a look at. I'm in some drawdown. On NASDAQ, as y'all can see here, just a wee bit. It's definitely a risk taking a sell here, for sure. High risk. I want to emphasize it's a high risk taking a sell here, but I am in the sell. Price moved a little bit higher. I originally had my mental stop loss like around where price is at, but it hasn't really done anything. Nothing's really changed fundamentally here, so I think we should get this healthy pullback here. If not something major like this, at least something to this level here. Seems like a level that price likes very well. Leave that there just to kind of change the color and make it a more equilibrium. More equilibrium kind of color. So if price doesn't actually run down to this beautiful entry that I have down here, then we can definitely get a bounce. It's probably gonna be a bounce off there no matter what. But I see this starting to play out pretty soon. We're gonna see market opens in 18 minutes. So we will see very shortly. But while we're waiting for the market to open and that to play out, let's change gears and head over to this 20v1. So it starts getting dark. It starts getting real. Like, please, YouTube algorithm, don't cancel me for mentioning it. Real Hitler-y. And I think that it, in a crazy way, kind of screams to current younger demographics right now on at least on one end of the spectrum. And I didn't realize that such things could be supported. Okay. I do have a little bit of knowledge of what we're about to watch, but I haven't seen it all. So let's share this tab instead. Go back and make sure that's good. Let me just pull this over here so I can also see the chat and myself. All right, let's get into it.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Mehdi, lovely to meet you.
So I would say that with Trump being anti-constitution, I don't really care, to be quite frankly.
Okay.
Because in regards...
And the argument right now is Trump is defying the Constitution, which, I mean, he kind of is. And I mean, we can argue all day about it, but they're going to talk about it here, so...
In regards to the Constitution is a document that should seek to serve us. Yes. And when it fails to seek to serve us, that can be amended. Laws can be changed. And quite frankly, the fact is, we're defending things in this country that shouldn't be defended. The First Amendment should not defend pornography and making children and women be victimized. Making women and children be victimized as a result of that. I think things like blasphemy shouldn't be allowed per the First Amendment. I think that, quite frankly, there are a lot of legal processes that are enabling criminals and bad people to fully enact their will in this country in the name of the Constitution or following the Constitution. So, quite frankly, if Trump is anti-Constitution, good, and I think he should go further.
So this is wonderfully revealing of the modern conservative mindset. So I appreciate you spelling it out so openly. Just checking, do you support the Second Amendment?
I do.
Okay, surprise! I was shocked to hear that. I'm saying that Donald Trump is defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He's thinking of defying the 12th and 22nd Amendments. You're saying you don't care about the Constitution, but actually you do because you quite like the Second Amendment. You just don't like the bits that you disagree with. Can I just be clear on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm more than willing to amend it and include
Whenever
the
it's in
Second
your
Amendment.
favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So can Democrats do the same when they're in office?
No, absolutely not. Because
you don't
it's the
believe in
friend enemy.
democracy?
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
What do you believe in?
Autocracy.
By who?
Honestly, quite frankly, anyone who is in line with Catholic teaching.
Donald Trump is not Catholic.
Of course, he's not. I completely agree,
so
and that's
you
part of
support
the problem.
Trump? You don't support Trump?
No, I don't. I didn't even vote for him. I wrote in like John Pork or someone. I can't even remember.
Why did you vote if you don't believe in democracy and you want autocracy?
Well, because quite frankly, I voted. I kind of voted just to.
I came with this argument, but I'm bored of my own argument. I'm much more interested in this. So
yeah, absolutely.
How do we get to an autocracy?
I think, quite frankly, that if we are able to enact local leaders,
who is the we, by the way?
I think, quite frankly, these far right conservatives sitting right around
white
me.
people.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
So,
well,
some
actually,
of you guys,
I have quite.
Some of the people in this room don't make the cut from what I can see visually.
Actually, hold on for a moment. I do think that there are people who happen to not be white who do actually have history in this country and have roots in this country. For instance, from the Mexican-American War, we subsumed a lot of territory of people who have far stakes in this country who happen to be Hispanic or what have you. I'm for defending the traditional demographics of this country, which is majority white, and should stay that way.
How does the United States... I mean, we've gone so off topic, but how does the United States look like under you? Sorry, what's your name?
My name is, my name's Connor. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Took a little bit of a doubt there.
Oh, well, I use a pseudonym online, fair enough.
How would Connor's America look? What would it look like?
Well, quite frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
No, I didn't ask about deporting. What does the government look like?
What does the government look like?
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, it's under a sort of benevolent leader, such as
Where does he
Franco.
come from?
It could be a kind of aristocratic class. Could be someone
who picks the autocrat?
Frankly, the people. I mean, we could hold a vote on it. Kings
rotate democracy.
Well, sure. You can have a vote to get to that stage.
And then no more votes afterwards.
Absolutely.
Wow.
100%.
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills because that's the whole thing.
How do you know?
Carl Schmitt
Autocrats tend to kill everyone,
Carl
even their own
Schmitt
supporters.
makes this point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right?
Carl
liberals,
Schmitt, the Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a fan of the Nazis?
I frankly don't care being called a Nazi at all.
I didn't say that. I didn't actually say that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
what about the persecution of the Jews?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews?
I think that there was a little bit of persecution and stuff like that, which is bad.
We may have to rename this show because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you could say, I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
Attention funded traders, pass, go live and get paid in as little as 1 day. Funded Trading Plus was founded by traders, for traders, and has paid out
Absolutely.
I'm just checking who's clapping just to get my set of where everyone is on this. Because you know that millions of people are going to be watching you on YouTube and checking out who the fascists and the Nazis are.
I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever.
No, clearly you're not.
During the pre-war period, prior to World War II, it was only those parties that properly enacted the people's will. That's why they won. The conservatives were fat cats. They were aristocrats. They didn't care.
Are you in favor of killing people who aren't like you?
Quite frankly, I'm not.
You mentioned Franco earlier. Franco killed a lot of innocent people.
Oh, well, he killed communists. He killed people who raped nuns and killed priests.
What about children who he killed and women who he killed?
What are you talking about? He never killed any women or children. He was Catholic,
He only killed combatants. Is that what you're claiming?
Yeah, he only killed combatants.
Never killed any innocent.
Aren't these like college students? Don't they go to a college and pick these folks up?
The white terror was only punishing those people who did acts of terrorism. And again, are you supporting like raping innocent women? Nuns, dude. Killing priests? I mean, priests don't brandish guns and kill people.
You just refuse to condemn the Nazi Holocaust, my friend. I don't think you're in a position to ask anyone any questions.
I quite frankly don't care what you think about me. If I'm a Nazi and being a Nazi
is mutual,
and being a Nazi means upholding human dignity, because I even believe in your dignity. I don't in a state that I was running. I wouldn't want to hurt you or anything like that. But quite frankly,
I don't debate fascists.
Okay. So do you concede then? I mean, why?
Do I concede you're a fascist who won't condemn the Nazis?
Yeah.
Yes, I concede that.
Okay, great. So I mean, what are we doing here? Because I mean, you just seem
know
offended.
what you're doing here,
You
to be
just seem
honest.
offended, to be quite frankly. Like
I'm offended by people who can't condemn the Nazis. Yes,
I mean,
am.
like,
okay. Well, I condemn
not-
the
it's
evils
not
that they did,
okay
but
to
I
be
don't
a
really
Nazi.
care
Against the
about
Jews?
being. Yeah, sure. I don't care about being called a
Yeah,
Nazi.
sure.
Is the whole thing.
I never called you a
I
Nazi.
care
You
about
called
doing the
yourself a
right
Nazi,
thing.
a
Really
fascist,
bad
and a General
word.
Franco
Well,
supporter.
yeah, I am a General
I don't even
Franco
know if I
supporter.
can
He was
post this on
awesome. He was
TikTok.
super cool, quite frankly. Because the whole
And you
thing.
don't believe in democracy.
I don't believe in
What are
democracy.
you doing here at a televised debate?
Because,
This is democracy. Don't put a debate and
because
disagree.
it is
Yeah,
the
nah.
means to support an end. The reason we have free speech now is because we want to be openly talking about our opinions so we can get the state that we want. But it doesn't mean
This is
upholding
great.
free speech after we win.
I
mentioned
the only good thing about this fascist moment we're in.
No free speech after we win. What do you mean by that, brother? What do you mean by that, bro? They haven't flagged him out yet. That's like, don't they supposed to put the flag up when they're like, okay, we don't want to listen to this guy talk. They want to hear this. The rest of the 19 of them want to hear this. Hey, yo.
whole
Is
reason
that you guys are so open about it.
the
It's
whole
great.
reason
Say
I
the
mentioned
quiet part loud.
the
Keep saying
whole
it.
reason I mentioned Carl Schmitt earlier, and you kind of blew past him, is the friend-enemy distinction.
past him because of the Nazi
even
point.
liberals, when they take power, they want to enact policy.
Hey, yo, okay.
and
All right. All right, let's move on from Buddy. Good
to meet you, man.
Good to meet you, sir. All right. So I kind of want to start at the basics or the foundation. I want to see.
Can I just check?
Yes.
Are you a fascist?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Gotta
I describe
read the
myself
room
as,
first now.
I think just a Christian.
Fair enough.
I'm a devout Christian.
Good to hear.
So, I want to start like, what is your connection to the Constitution, and why do you love it so much? Like, what makes it so important that Trump would defy something like the Constitution to you personally?
Great questions. My first connection is I'm an American citizen. I naturalized American citizen, took a pledge to this country, to the Constitution. As a previous speaker has said, Constitution's not perfect. A lot of things I don't like about it. I don't like the Second Amendment. There's various amendments. I don't like the way the Senate is set up. I'm sure there's things you don't like about the Constitution. The difference is, I don't think you can just illegally defy the Constitution. I don't think each and every one of us can make up whatever we want. Certainly presidents who are elected with an oath, right? Donald Trump took an oath to preserve, protect, defend the Constitution. And now when he's asked on television, isn't it your job to uphold the Constitution? He said on NBC, I don't know, which goes against his oath.
I know,
And I'm
he did,
identifying
he did.
specific amendments where he is violating. He's only 6 months into his presidency, defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He wants to defy the 22nd Amendment and be president for a third term. This is the problem we have right now. Free
This
speech.
has got 1 million views in 22 hours. Like, I guess, like, yeah, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. It's like, y'all still gotta go get a job and whatnot. Like,
Speech is under assault. The free press is
Crazy.
under assault. Due process is under assault. The right to be in your home and not be invaded by federal agents, the Fourth Amendment, is under assault. So that, for me, is a problem.
Okay. Well, I'd like to start to say I really don't find the Constitution that important. I find it to be like a 300-year-old document. And it was created to defy the country that subjugated your ancestors in India. And then your parents probably moved from India to Britain. And then you move here to tell us that we should listen to a piece of paper that you were never even connected to begin with. So I want to say, like, if I don't care about it, why do you care about it so much?
How do you run a country without any kind of laws or due process? And by the way, you do care about it, because without the First Amendment, you wouldn't be sitting here.
Well, I agree with the First Amendment, and I think.
So do you
every
agree with
country-
Donald Trump's crackdown on the First Amendment? He's imprisoning people for their speech. He's threatening free speech media organizations. He's threatening peaceable assembly. These are all rights under the First Amendment. Why aren't you bothered by that as a conservative who claims to love the First Amendment?
So I don't like the First Amendment. I like free speech.
Okay,
So
the First Amendment is what guarantees free speech.
It-
I'm
it
from the UK,
guarantees
by the
free
way.
speech.
I'm from the UK,
Yeah, and you guys
which
don't
is a
have
democracy.
that.
We don't have the First Amendment. No, that's one of the things I do like
Yeah.
about the Constitution. I wish the UK did have a First Amendment.
So people
I'm a
that get
journalist.
arrested for praying outside abortion clinics
So-
and stuff like that,
So,
right?
so you're opposed to people being arrested for speech crimes, I assume.
Well, it depends what it is. If it's like the
Oh,
people.
so you're like one of the previous speakers. You don't.
No.
As long as there's someone who agrees with you, you don't mind the
No,
crackdown.
no, I support-
Either we consistently support
I
principles,
support
or we
free
don't.
speech 100%.
Okay.
I don't think anyone.
So, do you think Donald Trump is defying the Constitution by cracking down on the First Amendment?
So I think he's cracking down on free speech, like the deportation of Mahmoud Khalil, who
was just released from prison by a
Yeah.
judge saying his First Amendment rights were violated.
and I agree with the judge, and I disagree with Trump deporting them. But I think that's more a matter of free speech and not the Constitution.
I think that's pedantry at this moment. I think you've conceded that he is cracking down on free speech, which is the First Amendment. So he is defying the Constitution. So it's a pleasure to be in agreement with you, sir.
All right, pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please
Belt.
return to your
Thank you very
seat.
much.
To ass. That's called belt to ass.
An affordable website
None of
you
these
don't
youngins
have to
have
build
ever been
yourself.
spanked before.
If you think that sounds
None
too
of
good
them.
to be
Yo,
true,
time
you're
out.
not
This is-
alone.
this
And
is
yet,
right up the time
yes.
That's belt the ass right there.
Hey, how's
meet you,
it going?
sir.
I'm Mehdi.
Mehdi,
clip that.
great to meet you. My name is Kai. Do you, Mehdi, believe that the Constitution is important and good?
Overall, yes.
Do you believe that that Constitution can be eroded through democratic processes?
What do you mean by erode?
The original intention of the Constitution being destroyed through a purely, democratic or legal process?
I'm not sure I agree with that.
Okay.
I think if you're democratically amending the Constitution per the rules of the Constitution, that's fine. If
Okay.
we could find a constitutional way to get rid of the Second Amendment, I'd be pro that.
So let's pose a hypothetical wherein the entire population of the United States has drastically changed.
Yes.
And the population now has completely different intentions about what to do with the country. Let's say it wants to give it all back to Mexico, dismantling the United States of America. If that's the case, then what's the use of the Constitution? It hasn't defended the country. In fact, it's allowed for its destruction.
What?
I don't understand the premise. How did the whole country change?
Demographic replacement, mass migration. I mean, we're seeing a change in demographics, and there's
What is the... I do want to talk about immigration today.
I hope we talk about it. I hope we
Everyone's
talk about it.
itching in this group to get
Yes,
to
sir.
immigration.
Yes, sir.
I've saved it. I've saved it for you all. But given we're on the sense of the Constitution, and you asked the question, what is the proportion of immigrants in this country? What proportion of the population is foreign-born?
It's very difficult to measure because the actual projections of the number have been changing more rapidly.
But what is currently the best estimate of
foreign-born,
official
I think it was about 15%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just under 15%.
Which is, by the way, more actually than the original estimate was. So
But
we have a
15%
huge-
of the
yeah.
people are going to change the country, change the Constitution. How's that going to work? It's
hold
actually a nightmare. As someone who wants to amend the Constitution and get rid of
15%
things
is
like
gonna give-
the ridiculous way the Senate is set up, or the Second Amendment
Sure,
on guns,
sure,
or
sure.
various other things, it's really hard to change the Constitution. They made it almost impossible. You know the last time we had a constitutional amendment?
you know
like
what?
20, 30 years
I
ago.
understand, which
and
is
it was
why-
on, I think, members of Congress pay.
Which is
like,
why-
it's
no,
impossible.
I get it, I
so
get it.
where are you getting
Hold
this
on.
scenario where 350 odd million people all become foreign-born migrants or the children of migrants, immediate migrants, even though America is a nation of migrants?
Yeah.
And then abandons the Constitution and gives the country back to Mexico. Outside of your
Well,
imagination,
hold on.
where is that happening?
Let's bring it back to the actual discussion.
Oh,
What you did
yeah,
is
please.
you entertained my hypothetical, but then instead of sticking to the point of the Constitution, you said, "Well, how would you bring about your hypothetical?" And then when I
Because
gave
you
you
missed out
hold
the
on.
part where the
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Constitution's
whoa, whoa,
quite hard
whoa,
to
Hold on. I understand that. I gave you.
I also wanted to get a sense of where you
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
and you're a great replacement guy. So that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, and you're a real good journalist because you don't talk to people who identify as like a political ideology. I mean, that's
No,
a very liberal
I
idea.
don't debate fascists.
And-
I'll talk to them,
And
but I won't debate them.
frankly, that's upsetting. I think there's a big problem when we value freedom of speech so much, but any real journalist is not going to talk to somebody because they identify with the politically incorrect ideology.
Just talk to the guy.
Yeah, if a guy says I'm a Nazi, there's no reason to debate him anymore. That's like saying, like, you're mad that he won't debate a brick wall. It's a brick wall. It's like we've already kind of eliminated a lot of like ways to debate when you say you don't believe in democracy. I mean, I don't know, whatever.
Guy in front of you. What are you talking about?
You literally stopped talking to him, and then everybody had to vote him
debating
out.
versus talking is very different.
Okay.
It's pointless, right?
Okay, yeah,
he doesn't
yeah.
believe.
So
In,
you're
he doesn't
ceding
believe
ground.
in free speech.
Okay.
He doesn't believe in
He was
democracy.
freely speaking with you. You're the one
No,
who
he
shut
doesn't.
up.
No, he said very clearly.
Okay,
He said, I
okay.
support
We'll
free
tone it down.
speech
We'll tone it
so
down.
that I
We'll
can
tone
get
it down.
one election.
I'll tone it
After
down.
one
We'll
election,
tone
my
it
guy
down. We'll
comes
tone it
in.
down. We'll
And
tone
after
it
my
down.
guy comes in, nobody gets to
Okay,
speak
that's
or
fine.
vote again.
We all listen to
Why
your
would I
conversation.
debate that?
We listen to your conversation. Let's
Well,
bring
I'm
let's bring
reminding
it
you
back
what
to
it
this
was
topic.
because you just
Let's bring it back to the
misrepresented it.
Constitution.
Please do.
I
First, fourth, fifth, 14th Amendments. Those are the
Sounds
ones
good.
I'm saying Trump is defying. Do you
Sounds
support that or do you deny them?
I believe that the Constitution is valuable because it represents particular interests of the founding stock of Americans who made this country great.
Do you think you...
Okay. We're gonna move on to the next person in a second, but let's check out these charts really quickly. Because I want to see, or I want to see how see how these here markets open up. Sorry, I got my screen a bit scrunched up here. Yeah, quite the healthy bit of divergence here. Yeah, I think all of this right here, tap, 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 double tap, tap it again, tap, one tap, I'm gone. There's a lot of stop losses right there. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of stop losses right there. We're gonna go get those stop losses, chat. Yep, yep. If you didn't know before today, trading is a zero sum game, which means like when you win some money, somebody losing some money. When you losing some money, somebody is winning some money. Now it's not the market itself. Don't blame the market now. No, market isn't an entity that's like against you, but it is a zero sum game. um, I mean, in a way, like in a theological way, the market is against you every day, for sure, for sure. If you don't have like $1 million to trade with, the market is definitely against you. Um, See how like you know what I'm saying? There's probably a lot of people that are eating off of these buys right here. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I hope they stop losses in profit or at break even, because if they're just hoping for the run up, then they about to get hit a little bit, and I'm gonna be in the green. Or you know, some more bulls come back in and you know really show their steel here, and they knock me out. Um, and that I mean that's the name of the game when you're on the chart. Um, I got a couple of guys on the team that are scalpers, damn good scalpers at that, mind you. Um, and I think it's reasonable to say that once they learn the precision trading strategy, that their scalping became more lucrative, a lot more lucrative. Um, because it's like there's just so much confluence, and it's like while you have what you know whatever you're used to, whatever you like to trade, it's just like, oh, and that, oh, perfect positioning. And it's like you got to have a lot of confidence when you're scalping. You either got to be really confident or really stupid when you're scalping, one or the other, or it's just gonna be anxiety filled. It's like one or the other, or it's pure anxiety the whole time. um, Let me take a look at SPX. We got some liquidations happening for the Bitcoin upside right now. So I think we are going to get a sell-off, unless it's just like a pre-liquidation and a bunch of sell liquidations are coming. But I don't think so. I've been seeing some, yeah. There was a couple of bear liquidations on Bitcoin this morning, but I think that's folks taking profit. They got entries down at 78K. They got entries down at 78K. Try to take some profits on the top. Try to take a little bit of money at home, you know. And that's the thing with this investing thing, trading or investing. You should for sure see the long term value in it, right? But like take some of those short term wins. You know what I'm saying? Like don't take all your money off the table, but you know what I'm saying? Take some gains out of the market. You know what I'm saying? On the regular basis, because you know nothing is ever set in stone, and you know the majority of the assets that we trade are very risky, super risky. And you know that disclaimer that you saw when you signed up for your broker, and it said that um, losses can exceed deposits. Your account can go negative, fool. So you know, um, take some money off the table, keep it safe, trade smart. You know what I'm saying? Don't do the most. Let me take a look at Forex Factory real quick. For the folks here, just for the 20v1, just skip ahead. Just skip ahead like 3 minutes, because I gotta go through this stuff real quick. Okay. What we got on my birthday? My birthday's on the 23rd. Not much. It's gonna be a chill day. A little bit of JPY stuff, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep it chill for another month at least, another 2 months at least. Home sales, that might shake it up just a little bit, but it's probably gonna be pretty bad. So it's gonna most likely strengthen our the position that we have. A little bit of stuff on AUD, not much. I didn't actually look at what was tomorrow. Yeah. Not much kicking off until Thursday. And then we got a whole lot shaking up. Flash manufacturing on the euro, German flash manufacturing PMI. We got the monetary policy statement, all on the euro and GBP zones. CAD retail sales coming out. Unemployment claims on the USD coming out. Flash manufacturing on the USD coming out. So, you know, y'all know how the end of the month get. That's gonna be the time where the position that we are in, as they're in profit, you start moving your stop losses to break even, putting them in profit, because when you have red folder, and these markets, you know what I'm saying, are all somehow interconnected. So when you have a shakeup somewhere, you get a little bit of a reaction everywhere. So, and just to be cautious on that front. There, we're getting the forecast is. Forecast is lower than previous, just barely though, on the manufacturing for the USD, and then for the manufacturing on GBP, the opposite. So yeah. I think all this BS is most likely going to end up, totaling in a net strength in our Euro USD buy positioning. Yeah, that part. Okay. Let's get back to this. Forget about that guy. Oh God, I don't know if I want to hear her speak. Oof. Okay. I don't want to sound like an asshole. Let's listen to it a little. Yeah, I'm gonna give her a fair shake. Hold on. Give her a full fair shake. Sorry. It was loading, my fault. There we go.
4th,
5th and
5th.
14th, and maybe the 22nd soon.
Okay. So I want to focus on the 1st
Okay.
and the 5th.
Okay.
So you say that Trump is defying the First Amendment. Can you give me an example?
For example, he banned the Associated Press from attending White House events. A Trump-appointed judge said that was against the First Amendment. He's been cracking down on media organizations he doesn't like over their speech. If they say stuff he doesn't like, for example,
Cracking down how?
So, for example, he banned the Associated Press from attending White House events because they
can't go
said
to the White House
it's the
either.
Gulf of Mexico. That's not how it works. They were already at the White House. He deprived them of access, so he punished them for their speech.
But are they allowed to go to the press?
Which is why a judge he appointed, Trevor McFadden, said this was contrary to the First Amendment. A Trump-appointed judge. He's called MSNBC and CNN illegal. Media organizations are not ipso facto
But that's free speech.
illegal.
He can call them whatever they want.
Attacking the media
Yeah, he can
by the
attack
president as the executive?
Yeah, he can
And
say whatever he wants. That's literally the First Amendment.
he can say whatever he wants.
Absolutely.
But the media can't say what they want.
They do.
But he's going after them. He's suing them. He's using lawsuits to crack down on the press.
They
Presidents
used
have not done that
lawsuits
before.
to give him 34 felonies that Hillary Clinton did.
No media gave him a lawsuit.
No, but people
We're
on
talking
the
about media.
Democratic side.
We don't talk about the Democrats.
Okay. So he can call them whatever he wants because that's the freedom of speech.
He's threatened to imprison reporters.
He absolutely.
He wants to imprison. He said reporters should go to prison for reporting. He threatened some of them with prison rape. Right? That is against the First
Oh my
Amendment.
God.
Okay. How is that against the First Amendment?
You don't think sending reporters to prison for
Is he
reporting that he
sending
doesn't
them?
like?
Did he do that?
He wanted to. He said so.
Okay,
I would like them to go.
I would really like to.
So
fly.
other people stopped him doesn't mean he's
Right.
not defying
Okay,
the Constitution.
So
he
can
also said if you turn up,
excuse me,
please.
he can want to do something.
Yes.
That doesn't mean he will or he can.
Okay.
And I think he's very.
Well, I've already
aware
given an
of that.
example of something he did do to the Associated Press, but okay.
Yeah, okay, so the Associated Press isn't allowed in the Oval Office, which is his office, that's his executive space.
Okay.
And they are allowed in the press room, just like CNN, just like The Guardian.
Which he thinks are illegal media
Why,
organizations.
y'all? Her voice pisses me off.
Americans or immigrants in this claim?
Immigrants are Americans. I'm an immigrant and an American.
Well, immigrants are not Americans. Americans are the people that were born here.
That's not true. Where'd you
Are you
get?
talking
What's the
about
basis of
people-
your claim for that?
Are you talking about people that get naturalized in the process of becoming
Yes.
American?
Where'd
Say
you
that
get American?
again.
Well, immigrants are not Americans. Americans are the people that were born here.
Immigrants are
That's
not
not true.
American.
Where'd
Are
you
you
get?
talking
What's the
about
basis of
people-
your claim
You said-
for
Are you
that?
talking about
Immigrants
people
are
that
not
get
American.
naturalized in the process of becoming
Yes.
American?
14th Amendment. Have you read it?
Okay, yes, I have.
Citizenship clause. It
so
says
I'm-
You know you
any
can become
persons born or
American, right?
naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United
I'm-
States.
I'm aware of that.
There's
I'm
about
a-
40 to 50 million naturalized
I'm
Americans
aware
in
of
this
that.
country.
Yes, but
You
wouldn't
didn't seem aware of it because you said Americans versus immigrants.
So, but are you understanding that the process of getting all these immigrants that come in here we've been also, the millions of immigrants, it's up to the millions, it's the last 20 years now, and it has dramatically affected Americans here in the country, which
Positively, I would argue.
people like me and everyone around here, we cannot find homes.
The argument changed. Just if y'all didn't notice, the argument is immigrants overall are good for America, which I think I'm on that side of it. I think immigrants are a super net positive. I don't think we'd have most of our infrastructure.
Or even get jobs within our own fields that we go to college for, that we get into debt for. And because more blue-collar work, especially in construction, agriculture, and so forth, and the hospitality industry, we cannot get jobs in those fields, so it requires
Are you looking for a
us-
job in construction
I am
or
not,
agriculture?
no. I went
Just
to
checking.
college.
Okay.
Many people here are in college or went to college, but we can't even find jobs in our fields, also because of the H-1B visa program as well. But in regards to just your claim about immigrants specifically, we cannot even get jobs to pay for housing.
Unemployment is at a record low right now, even under Donald Trump. And I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I would say unemployment
I
under
won't
both
get
Biden
up
and
and go
Trump has
work.
been at record low levels.
Okay, is this in regards for American citizens?
Yes.
I can't
Okay.
get there.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I'm unaware of that statistic, but from what I see, from what I
I'm an
consistently
immigrant
hear-
and an American, and I employ
Sure.
many
And
American
my-
citizens,
and-
both naturalized and the ones born here.
And my
I
par-
employ
my
Americans.
parents. No, my parents came
Americans as defined by you.
My parents came as immigrants to become naturalized, so I'm not necessarily opposed
Oh,
to
wow.
immigrants.
So you're the child of immigrants.
Correct. I'm a child of immigrants. I was
But
born
you don't
here.
accept that immigrants are American.
Didn't she just say? Yeah, I was about to say what he just said. Did you just say immigrants and Americans? You just called your parents not Americans. I'm pretty sure they did a lot of work to become Americans. If they don't want to hear their daughter on TV talk about they're not Americans. That's crazy. You gotta go home and talk to your peoples, bro.
Not at this moment.
So your
because-
parents are not Americans?
Not at this moment.
So hold
no,
on, your parents are
they're
not Americans?
citizens. They became naturalized.
You just said you can't be citizens.
kind
American
of
naturalized.
citizen?
No, I was
Jody?
born here, and I'm not
Yeah,
opposed
you're born
to
here, right?
naturalization. I
But
never
are your
said that I'm against
Are
naturalization.
you against naturalization?
No, I never said I was against
You did.
naturalization.
You began. Everyone was here. They can play it back on YouTube. You said Americans or immigrants. Are your parents Americans or immigrants?
No, my parents are United States citizens.
But they're immigrants. You said.
United
No, they
States
came here as
of-
immigrants. However, but
So
I
they
want
are
to make the
immigrants.
claim
You
that
said,
we cannot
I came
even.
here as an immigrant. I'm
But
an
at
immigrant.
this
America.
point, when they came, the
I think
United
that
the
people
United
aren't
States
happy with the
economy.
way this is going for you.
The United States economy was not at.
It's better now. The American economy is better than it's been
Not
for
from
many
it-
years.
not from the
And I can say
statistics
that
I
as someone who
see.
doesn't like Donald Trump.
We're
Which
giving
statistics are you
millions
seeing?
and billions of dollars
Which
to
statistics
people
are you
of,
seeing?
minorities as well as
The reason the
immigrants.
economy is doing badly now.
You saw it.
Giving them billions.
According to statistics, immigrants are 80% more likely to be entrepreneurs than native-born Americans.
Sure,
They're more
absolutely.
likely to start
No,
businesses
I'm aware of
and
that.
hire Americans.
No, I'm aware
Right?
of that.
Immigrants
but
are
we
more
also-
likely to pay in
Yeah,
taxes
immigrants
than
Yeah.
take out in
80%.
benefits.
And
They're more likely to add to innovation
But-
and jobs and wages. This is what the statistics show. The Congressional
yeah, I
Budget Office.
understand- I
Let me just finish my
understand
point and then let you come back
Okay,
in.
go
The
ahead.
Congressional
I like
Budget
to
Office,
do
which is
a back-
bipartisan, Republicans and Democrats both use it. They have said that the immigration surge that you mentioned will lead to an extra $9 trillion of GDP over the next 10 years. That amounts to $65,000 per American household. That's $65,000 for each and every one of you holding up a red flag.
Okay, I
All
understand
right,
that, but
pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your
Nice to
seat.
meet you.
nice to meet you. Thank you.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Eddie.
What's going on, man? Nice to meet you. All right, so first, before I start, I need to know what you mean by good. I can talk about the economy, I can talk about culture, I can talk
Great.
about all those things. I need
All
to
of
know
them.
what you mean.
All of them.
All of them.
I'm saying immigrants are good for the economy. They're good for
think lower
culture.
wages are
they're
good for the
for
economy?
society. Where are the lower wages?
What do you mean, where's the lower wages?
Where are the lower wages?
Yeah, so you can
What's
look
the
at
basis for saying there are lower wages?
Sure, so you can look at like the STEM industry. It's been in like a complete and total recession. There's been tons of studies like from the Economic Policy Institute that shows that like companies like Tesla, companies from like Silicon Valley, they engaged in mass firing of workers, around 35,000, but then they hired around 12,000 H-1B visas. And it's kind of just standard economic thinking.
It's not standard economic thinking. The vast majority of economists and economic studies suggest that there is a negligible, if no impact on wages over time
That's not-
from
that's just-
immigrants.
that's
In
just-
fact, your colleague mentioned earlier, construction, there is actually evidence in construction, yes. But in some industries, in some areas, there is an impact. But overall, no. In fact, a study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that migrants since 1965 have raised wages
Who's that
and
by?
raised innovation.
Who's that by?
productivity. National Bureau for Economic Research.
No, hold on. That's where you publish.
And where the argument breaks down is, and I don't think that this kid has the IQ to actually get there, is the fact that, like, while that may be true, at the same time, the same people that are hiring out are causing a disparity between the prices of these products versus the value of our dollar that's getting paid to, folks with H-1B1 visas and whatnot. So, like, let's see.
Yes, I didn't memorize the names of the authors.
Yeah, I know you did. Right?
Can you give me the authors you've got?
Yeah, hold on. The study you're talking about is from Giovanni Perry, and what he did is he didn't account for aggregation issues, nor did
The
he.
vast majority of studies.
Let me speak,
Please.
Yeah, thank you. Right. So listen, he didn't account for aggregation issues, right? And when you look at like the spatial approach, which is what all these economists use, you're not accounting for the fact that when immigrants come into an area, natives leave. If you look at an occupational approach, where you look at the specific firms that immigration is going into, like Kim ETAL 2013 did. You find a net negative impact when there's a 10% increase of immigration. You find around a 0.5% decline in wages when it comes to the specific occupations they're going to.
So
all
even-
your studies
so-
are
You know,
flawed.
they have a problem. And I don't know. He started with a problem and then mentioned a bunch of bullshit to support it, and then he rebutted with a bunch of more bullshit. Yeah, they're like these execs are hiring out. They've been hiring out for years. It's been a thing. It's common knowledge that businesses do that because of cheaper wages. Now they don't, like, traditionally it was for more things that are regularly blue collar, and Americans are lazy. That's why they haven't really complained about it till now. But other countries have started to accelerate in the educational fields that are required for a lot of STEM jobs. And now, since their countries have just slightly lower standard of living, again because Americans are greedy and lazy. So, like, for them, making a little bit less money is negligible because of the fact that, like, they're more than likely to be fine living at their means than a traditional American citizen, and that's what this disparity boils down to. It's like, it's been easy to hire out, but now the jobs that Americans actually want, they're hiring out for, and they're like, oh, whoa, y'all hiring out for Silicon Valley now? It's like they've been doing that, but now it's in more mass. You know what I'm saying? And crypto bros are mad. The crypto bros are mad about that.
0.5%. Weigh that up against what I just mentioned from the Congressional Budget Office, which is a massive boost in GDP per head, which you're not counting for. Massive increase in tax revenue. Immigrants are actually funding the deficits and debts by paying way more in taxes proportionately, including undocumented immigrants. And what's interesting about wages is, I'm in a room full of, I don't know what to call you anymore, conservatives, Republicans, fascists, I don't know. One of you has proudly said
You can
that.
call us correct.
One of us proudly. Oh yeah, correct. I'm in a room full of correct people. So, report.
Something you're not accounting for here is that they're assuming an equilibrium, right? Do you know what that means? You shouldn't make these type of assumptions. You said earlier that unemployment
Do I
was
know
like
what it means? I thought we're not doing assumptions.
Okay, hold on. You mentioned we were like at like 4.2% unemployment. Yeah, that's counting people who have part-time jobs. That's counting poverty
That's how it's
wages.
always been counted.
Yeah,
I'm against poverty wages.
You
Can we
won't let
agree
me
again?
Yes. If you go to like the Lookwood Institute, they calculated a way where it's like functional unemployment. Okay. If you account for things like just people who make around $25,000 a year, people who have fallen out of the labor market, people who only work part time, if you count all of those people together and then add on the unemployment, that's around 25% of the population. So when you go, we don't have jobs, we don't have people to do this, and that, and the other. No, yes, we do. Okay.
They just don't want to work. Listen, if you got a part-time job, get another job. Then you got the 2 part-time jobs equal 1 full-time job. What you mean? And if I mean, like, I'm not gonna try to speak to everybody's situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's, of course, extremes, and I can't know where everybody's at. But when it comes to work, oh man, like, y'all don't want to work, bro. Like, I be out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a silver spoon person. I came from zero, absolutely nothing. So I've watched American society from a few different angles, quite a few different angles. You know, I've been in the Army, D1 athlete, grew up in Virginia, raised in North Carolina. It's like, I've seen a lot, and a lot of it boils down to y'all are lazy. Not everybody, but the vast majority, yeah, fucking lazy. It's like, that's a simple truth. Y'all gotta get with it.
Okay, we don't have a labor shortage. We have a good job shortage. And when you keep bringing these people in,
we do not
they're
have a good job
The
shortage.
good job
That is
shortage
cap.
is the fault of big firms, employers. I'm an employer. I can
who
say
hires
that.
the immigrants?
Who hires the immigrants?
Yeah.
Employers.
Exactly. So
But
when
that's not
you
the
bring up
cause-
these big firms,
Okay, so
that's the
let me
way
ask
they
you.
keep
Let me
wages
ask you
down.
a
You
question.
understand that, right?
So let me ask you a question.
And it's crazy. We have a bot that literally takes money and turns it into more money. And we have a guide called The Ultimate Guide to Precision Trading, teaches people how to trade. And a program to even get you funded after you learn how to trade. So it's like, and this, like, I'm not the only person that does this. We're not the only company that does this. This has been a thing. But newsflash, you're lazy. You don't want to learn nothing new. You just want to find a job. He's like, I just want to go be a slave somewhere. Help me, help me. That's all I hear in the media nowadays. Help me, help me. I suck. Mad there's no jobs. Learn how to invest. It's 2025, bro. What you need a job for? You should have 3-4 streams of income. Is you cool?
If you got rid of all immigrants coming in tomorrow, moratorium, you think that Republicans?
I really want to know
because your months are good. And on immigration. Hey, how you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you. How are you?
Not bad. So, what type of immigrants are we talking about?
What do you mean?
Like any immigrants or are
Immigrants, that's what I said. Immigrants
are illegal
overall.
immigrants?
Undocumented immigrants also contribute
Illegal.
greatly to the U.S. I say undocumented. I don't think people are illegal.
Yeah.
So, let's put it this way.
Hey, look, not to be hot, bruh, but like, I am in a close vicinity, proximity, region where almost every, like, listen, it's a brand new housing development way over there being built. I've been over there, right? None of them speak English. There's like 2 people on each squad that speak English. And these houses are beautiful. It is traditional. It is an American tradition to hire. There's a lot there's a lot of different folks that can get the job done. Me personally, I want to call some Mexicans. Nope. No. Because I mean, like, listen, and it's not just because they've been building the best houses ever for the past like 40 years, period. You know what I'm saying? But like culturally over time, their architect, their logic and architecture has just been like super sound. You know what I mean? So it's like there's reasons behind everything, and you know, for anybody to say that you know America doesn't need them is crazy, because like if we didn't need them, then they like what they've been doing for so long wouldn't be like everything is out of need. You know what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't just be. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are lazy. Y'all don't feel like doing anything. So y'all pay other people to do other things. And, you know, Americans don't like doing this all the hard work. 9 times out of 10. I mean, like, granted, I'm not saying every single American is lazy. Just because you're American and watching this, I'm not calling you lazy. The lazy ones know who they are, bro. If you get up every day and get to it, get things done and try to grow and prosper, I'm not talking to you. Don't be offended. Talking about dude that call his girl for $25 so he can go get that ugly ass 3.5, still laying on her couch. You know what I'm saying? Asking to borrow her car. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. That's who I'm talking about. That's who should not be chiming in much on this conversation.
I'm an immigrant too, from Iran.
Okay.
There isn't even a
How do you
U.S.
feel about the fact that people here want you out?
Hold on, let me check the chart real quick. Okay, so see, Bulls came in. They ain't doing much though. Still in just a wee bit of if folks are looking for like re-entries on this here, I'd say your best bet is to wait for a 30-minute candle close above here, and then probably clear to go to the upside. With us. Okay. Let's get back. Gonna end this stream soon. Let me see. I don't know if I want to find a face. It's all in the face. Oh, the suit. Oh wait. Oh God, trailer park. Oh God. Okay, suit and I won't go trailer park and suit. I'll go trailer park and suit. All right. Let's see what these two got to say.
You have this opportunity to come together, and you're kind of mocking people when they do. So you mocked Sarah a little bit when you guys clearly had a common interest and goal to reach. So I can tell you're agitated. I want to bring that all down, please.
I'm guessing you're not going to, but let's see.
No, I'm going to. I do want to point out some contradictions. First and foremost, I don't believe you're pro-American in the value system that you claim to uphold, especially with free speech, if you're not willing to debate people that don't share your values.
He said, I want to bring it all
very
down.
Donald Trump's plan for Gaza.
I don't believe you're American.
I don't believe it's
I don't believe you're American.
Because it's not his plan.
It is his plan. He said it's my plan.
No,
Benjamin Netanyahu called it his plan.
He is obeying someone else's plan.
Okay.
Who
is he obeying?
He is obeying Israel's plan.
BB said it was
for the
BB
Greater Israel Project, of which this is one of those things that we can agree on.
Why is he doing that?
Why is he doing that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they have something on him. Maybe they have something on all
But
Americans.
you think it's a bad thing what he's doing?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
no,
Glad
that's
to
why,
agree with you.
But see, I don't want to shut down
I'm
the
not mocking you, I'm
conversation.
agreeing with you.
Okay, perfect. But I want to take this opportunity because I don't know if I'm going to get the opportunity again to say you're not American. First and foremost, but you're not.
Remember when I said the agitation from you is not going to be lower?
What I'm saying,
you came to lower the temperature and then make racist remarks. You know that's a racist remark.
It's not racist.
You tell an American citizen.
But perfect. You just proved your own point.
Go on.
You just said that was a racist position.
Yes.
earlier, you
said
argued
he's
this
not
contention
American.
that America has no race. It's a bunch of immigrants that culminate together
Never
into
said
one.
America has no race.
You inferred it. You absolutely did. So now you're saying it's racist for me to take an American nationalist approach. You're kind
What is
of
an American national approach? Is that a white approach?
I think it's a white nativist approach. Of course,
So only
absolutely.
Americans are white
Why
people?
did your parents
So
immigrate
Americans
from
are
India?
only white people?
Why did your parents immigrate from India to the UK?
Because the UK colonized and conquered India.
Okay, why did you immigrate to America?
Because many reasons.
Okay, all opportunity. There's
That's not
opportunity.
true. You don't know.
The accent. Your accent is an afflict of white Anglo-Saxon.
You know there are 50 million Americans in this country.
I
immigrants.
understand, but
None of them are
missing-
Americans in your view.
What I'm trying to get you to do to reach a common ground here.
We're not going to
is
reach a common ground because you said
Please
I'm
try.
not American. Please try.
I don't think you're American. I'm saying you're
I
not
don't think you're
American.
American.
I'm saying you're not
I don't think you're
American due to
American.
values.
I don't think you're not American on values either. I think you're a little fascisty, a little racisty.
See, you're using these words. Okay, first of all, I want to say this.
I'm not just throwing them at you. You didn't come sit down. I said it.
Every
It's
conservative
crazy.
that's ever
You
been
don't
shot
do the
down by
big guys ever,
leftists
but
like you, for every
I
conservative,
read that well.
for
You're
every
not
conservative,
You've
already said
for every right
You've
wing,
already said you're not
for
a
every
conservative.
Stefan Molyneux,
more
Thomas
white,
Sowell,
okay.
Nick Fuentes, all of those people.
Is
that
Thomas
people
Sowell
like-
American?
He's Australian. But that's not the point. I'm saying people that are on our side of the aisle that get shut down by people like you because you're leveraging this position of emotion.
You're joking, right?
No, I'm not. You're
You
leveraging
know
a
nobody on
position of
quote unquote
emotion.
my side of the aisle is trying to deport you. The only shutting
Actually,
down
yes,
is being
they're
done by
trying to.
you.
They're actually
The only
trying to
shutting down is being
genocide my
done by
entire
you.
race. So what are you talking
Wow.
about? What
You're
are
a
you
white-
talking about?
White
Trying to
genocide
oust
guy.
me.
You love immigrants.
No, I'm a.
You love
Yeah, we
immigrants when they're
talking
helping you.
to the white genocide.
Even white genocide, so it's very hard to.
Yeah. Can't do much with that.
Hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you.
Hello. So I'll switch over to the Gaza thing in a second, but
Okay.
first off, I just wanted to touch on that. You said that you support free speech, of course, right? So
Why
what
you
I'm
look
confused
like
about
that
is
when you
you've
said it?
refused to debate people that have disagreed with you because you said that they're racist or they're
No,
fascist,
no,
right?
no. If we're going to do facts, they said they were racist and fascist. Get your facts right before you start
Okay,
arguing.
so isn't the whole entire point of a debate to debate people that you don't agree with?
I don't debate people who don't see me, A, as equal, no point, or B, support democracy because that would undermine the whole idea of the debate. If you don't support democracy, as our friend here doesn't, and support General Franco, then what is the point of a debate? The First Amendment doesn't mean you have to debate everyone. Somebody comes up to you in the street and starts talking to you. You don't have an obligation to carry on talking to them. I'm sure you go about your business. Somebody comes up to you in the subway and sits next to you and starts ranting in your face.
So-
You're not going to start
so
debating. them.
everybody here in this Jubilee-
everyone here has hygiene standards, as do you. There are people you wouldn't debate, I'm sure, as well.
Okay. So can you please describe why you think Trump is supporting ethnic cleansing of Gaza just because he wants to take over the land there? How does that equate to killing them?
Not just take over the land, kick out all the people. That is the definition of ethnic cleansing.
So isn't ethnic cleansing killing people? Because it seems like you're...
No, you can ethnic cleanse people without killing them. And by the way, they have been killed. More than 50,000 people in Gaza have been killed
genocide.
by the Israelis, by people like Bezalel Smotrich, who
kill 'em?
said recently, the finance minister of
too
Israel,
different.
we are going to Gaza to conquer, cleanse, and remain. We're going to annihilate the place. We're going to disassemble Gaza, he said. We're going to leave it behind as piles of rubble. That's the guy Trump's funding, supporting. That's the guy praising Trump. So
Yeah,
yes, Trump and Smotrich are ethnically cleansing Gaza.
I cannot deny that thousands of people are dying in Gaza, but you need to realize, why are they dying? Is it possibly that they're attacking another country?
No,
just
the
because
people who are
Israel
dying
is
are not
killing-
attacking another country.
Just because Israel is killing more Gazans than Gazans are killing Israel doesn't mean Gaza is righteous and Israel is evil.
I never
Now,
said
Israel-
anything about evil or righteous.
Israel
I said
might be-
ethnic cleansing. You said don't have to be killed. I said they are being killed, and the criteria for what's happening to
Yes.
them. If Donald Trump says these people have to leave and never come back, is that not ethnic cleansing? What is your definition?
Yeah, that's an objective
I would think
truth.
ethnic
like,
cleansing is when
right
you're
or
killing
wrong,
off a
however,
large part of an
side
ethnic
of it
group.
you-
That's genocide. You're confusing your terms. Ethnic cleansing is removing one ethnic group.
Yeah.
Using a deliberate policy by violence or terror-inspiring means to remove another population, another ethnic group from a certain geographic area. That's the UN definition of ethnic cleansing. That is what he's doing. When he was asked Donald Trump, can they come back? He said, no, they cannot. That is ethnic. I've heard all these. We've had
that
people
is
talk
because-
about white genocide today.
Okay.
You guys are nationalists.
But that's-
How would you feel
You're talking
if somebody
75%
came,
of the
a
time.
president of France came and told you to leave your land and not come back? Would you not feel you'd been ethnically cleansed from your home?
From America?
Yeah.
Well, because my ancestors were settlers here, not immigrants. They actually built
Palestinians
something.
are not immigrants in Gaza.
I'm saying
They are indigenous people
that's
to the
where they
land.
from.
Didn't Israel just give Gaza the land like a few decades ago?
No.
I'm pretty sure Israel used to have that land.
I'm pretty sure you're
in
wrong.
the 1900s.
They
Yes,
withdrew
they did.
from 2005 from the land, but controlled
Yeah,
the
and then
air.
gave it to them in 2005.
No, they don't give it to them. They control the air,
give them-
the sea space, the borders,
That's
the
where the whole
population
open-air
registry.
prison
They controlled
thing
what
came
went
from.
in and out. It was a prison, an open-air prison. That's not giving
But
them
don't they have
freedom.
a border with Egypt and then the Mediterranean
Yes,
Sea?
and the
So how's that
Israelis
a
and
prison?
Egyptians work together because Donald Trump and Joe
Really?
Biden
The
and
Egyptians
Barack
that are
Obama.
Muslim?
Yes, they're funded by the United States. Did you know that Muslim countries do bad things too?
It wouldn't let
No, I
them
know
see
that
there.
they do bad things.
Okay, then, so we're in agreement.
All right, pause. You've been voted out. Please return
Right.
to your
Nice
seat.
to meet
Are y'all not even tapped into like regular basic news? They wouldn't even let them flee there. What the, come on. Okay. Cooked. We're cooked. Listen, I'm trying not to get too radical before I have a bigger mouthpiece, because I don't want the powers that be to shut me down before it's time. But I do want to say, it's time to come together, y'all. It's time to start looking at each other, not for what's on top, but what's underneath, and that is, we all bleed, and the same. We all bleed the same. You know what I'm saying? But emphasis on we all bleed, right? Because like the way that these kids are talking means war is inevitable, right? I mean, like another civil war is on hand. And like, listen, wrong. We are a very young society, y'all. We're a very young current society. You know what I'm saying? America's 200 years old. Rome lasted 10 times that and had multitudes of regime changes and battles. So, you know, I know I'm pretty charismatic. If I gotta be the one to lead the charge, I'll do it. But y'all gotta get behind me. It starts with hitting that sub button, that like button, and that bell icon. All right, to make sure you get notified when we drop videos, shorts, videos, go live, any of that. You get the updates. But you know, I mean, like I say it on the channel here and there a lot. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, if y'all want me in any kind of power politically, I'm in the finance space, so you know I would have to, of course, separate myself from that. But I have my son who's gonna take the keys eventually. Anyway, that's already in the plan. So if I do end up moving into something like politics and power, you know, y'all have a lot of time to kind of give me kind of guidance on what you guys want to see for the world out there. And you know, me who I am, yeah, of course not everybody can, of course not, I know not everybody can believe this. The people that know me best, I know can, but you know, if I was the one, you know what I'm saying, that had to be in control, I think we'd be in very good hands, because you know, I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I am really strict on progress, you know. So those two things combine in me very well, that I think would give America and the rest of the world a little bit more hope towards a future where, you know, humans are more interconnected and working together towards bigger, more fundamental goals, exploring the ocean, discovering our past, exploring the stars, learning about what's out there, you know, being able to, you know, harness more of the energy within our solar system. These are goals that the bulk of society aren't working on together. And you know what I'm saying, there's like, all this is petty. This is petty. You know what I'm saying? Like, the world is bigger than this. You know what I'm saying? And if we were approached by aliens now, they would look at us and think we're just primitive little animals and probably kill us off, because we need to get out of their way of whatever resources or whatnot. Like, we're not even valuable enough for conversation right now, and that's a problem. That's what should scare people. It's like, it's not a matter of if there's aliens out there. There are. The universe is just a wee bit too big for there not to be other life out there. It's expanding. So either us or the other race is gonna have to figure out the travel. Whichever one who does first, is gonna meet the other one. That's just how. I mean, logically, that's how that kind of has to work. And you know, if we're not close. We're not close at all. They could be very close. They could be very, very close. And honestly, they don't even have to be very close yet. They could just be in a better position socially and be starting now. You know what I'm saying? Like those crazy far off high level possibilities that most regular everyday people just don't really think about because they're worried about their bills and their car note and, you know, getting some more food for their baby and whatnot. And it's like, because of these petty arguments, you know, clouded in distraction, we're not even able to just, you know, look up enough and wonder, you know. And that's not great, you know. The human existence should be filled with a lot of wonder. But I'm finna get out of here. Let me close this out. I love y'all. Make sure you're kind to somebody today. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Wait. Since you made it this far, like 90% of the people that watch these videos aren't subscribed and don't hit the like button. I don't know if it's your pride. I don't know if it's because you fell asleep watching it. Hit that button for me. All right, one more time. I love y'all. Make sure you're kind to somebody today. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.